From stunning architecture to clever inventions, Germany is a place where the cutting edge coexists with history. Here are 5 stories that prove the creative spirit lives on in Germany.
One of the newest additions to the skyline in Hamburg, Germany is a concert hall fit for a modern Mozart. The Elbphilharmonie is considered one of the largest and most acoustically advanced concert venues in the world. Made up of 3 concert halls, the Elbphilharmonie seats more than 2,800 visitors. The Great Concert Hall, the largest of the 3 halls, has 10,000 unique acoustic panels that were designed using computer algorithms to create the best possible sound. Each panel contains 1 million cells that shape the sound by either absorbing the waves or having them reverberate through the space. The curved design of the cells can be seen replicated throughout the entire building. Not to be outdone, the glass exterior of the Elbphilharmonie, built atop a former warehouse, is just as spectacular as the interior. The structure rises above the Elbe River and mirrors the water's wave and shine. To mark the opening night, the exterior featured a light show, timed to the music being played within the Great Hall. With multiple events almost every day, the Elbphilharmonie is a must-see for music and math lovers alike.
Settlers of Catan is one of the best-selling board games of all time. And nestled in the rolling hills of Rossdorf, Germany, on this picturesque street, past the buzzer in Building 43, and standing in the back of the garden, is Klaus Tuber, the man who made it all happen. Settlers of Catan is a board game for up to 4 players where you collect resources to build settlements and cities. They're worth points, first to 10 wins. And it all started like this.
In the 90s and 80s, I led a dental laboratory. Developing games was a little bit refuge for me.
His first game was called Barbarossa.
When I made Barbarossa, I was in my early 30s. I feel that this is a kind of thing I like very much, developing games, and it could be in the future for me a very, very good hobby.
He designed a handful of other games and then made Catan. Klaus had become interested in Viking tales.
Yes, the story of the Vikings inspired me. I imagine how they reach Iceland. They need wood, they need houses and all the things. And so on this imagination, I developed Catan.
From design to market, it was a family affair. This is Benny Tuber. He lives in Germany, and he is Klaus's youngest son. And this is Guido Tuber. And this is Guido Tuber. He lives in San Francisco. He is Klaus's eldest son.
In my family, I am one of the game testers, along with my mom.
Me too. We play tested the Settlers of Catan quite often.
We would all get together at the dining room table and would test and his games.
Sometimes he put a Mickey Mouse comic next to my chair, so in case the game was boring, he knew that I would read it instead of playing the game.
My dad took that and tweaked it, worked on it. This was sort of an exciting moment for my dad.
In the Tuber family, there's a bit of competition.
My father would probably say I'm the best player.
No.
Sorry, Dad, Benny is the best. There's a bit of a rivalry between my dad and my brother.
Catan was officially released in Germany in 1994, and it was an immediate success.
We had an immediate success in Germany because we won Game of the Year.
Worldwide, to date, over 24 million copies have been sold.
This game was born out of a story, but it also creates stories.
The beauty of Catan is that in the end you still have constructed something. So in a way, everybody wins.
It was my wish to have a very peaceful game with a lot of interaction, bringing people together. For me, Catan was a success.
To all the Catan fans out there, here's some advice.
Well, you always have to follow your strategy, but also you have to complain quite a bit. Even though you know you're winning, you still have to say you're not.
I love building cities as early as possible in the game.
Never build the longest road at the beginning.
And there you have it.
Although there are many castles in Germany, there's none quite like Eltz Castle. It has been privately owned by the Eltz family since 1157. The Eltz Castle was originally constructed in the 11th century, however, additions and restorations have been made over the years. Unlike most castles, Eltz Castle isn't easy to spot. It sits off the main road, high on a rock within a low valley, and is surrounded by a lush forest. Many visitors are drawn to the hiking trails surrounding the castle grounds. 34 generations of the Eltz family have lived among the castle's 120 rooms, and since today no one in the family lives there full-time, the ancestral home is open to the public. Every year, over 300,000 visitors come to see the castle and its armory, treasury, and original furnishings that are over 8 centuries old. Throughout Europe's tumultuous history, this enchanting castle was never invaded or destroyed. Its rich history has earned it a spot on the 500 Deutschmark note, making it a special sight for those who get to experience it in person.
I want to give the scrap life again, bring it a new purpose. My art is a mix of fantasy and common sense. My name is Kolja Kugler and I'm an artist. And I'm most known for making moving robot sculptures. I stumbled into making robots. I was making sculptures out of scrap metal I found, and then I started to move those moving parts with air pressure pistons. It started with a head, moving the jaw, and before I knew it, I had a robot. I find my scrap metal pretty much everywhere. I have got my eyes open all the time. Potentially fantastic eye. I mean, there's every kind of shape you can imagine. When I build a band member, I start obviously with the music making part, the fingers, plugging or playing, and then I build the character behind it. The special thing about my robots is that they actually do play the music themselves. My robots play the bass guitar, the drum kit, and they play the flutes. They got an affinity for punk rock. The whole band is called the One Love Machine Band. My robots perform all around the world. Tech events, festivals, university lectures or TED Talks. When people see the robots, it's like they freeze for a while. There's this moment of, oh, what's going on here? And then it's usually the childish gleam and the joy. I like to use scrap metal because there's so much waste in the world. You can't destroy, you can only make it better. My work is a constant game of chance, and that's what I really love about it.
If you're having trouble finding Mr. or Mrs. Swipe Right, it might be time to turn to matchmaking's ancient roots. Literally. Because deep in a forest in Germany stands a 600-year-old oak tree that has introduced hundreds of single people. It all began around 1890, when the forest ranger's daughter met a chocolate maker from Leipzig. The father did not approve of the relationship. They had to find a way to exchange messages, so they used a tree about 300 feet away from the forest ranger's office. A branch had broken off, forming a hole, and it was there they put their letters. Once her father learned how they were secretly communicating, he finally approved of their relationship. They married under the tree on June 2nd, 1891, after which the tree became known as Bridegroom's Oak.
Die hat die Aufgabe eines modernen Eheinstitutes. Der Baum hat eine eigene Postadresse. Seit 1927 heißt das die Bräutigamseiche 23701 Eutin, Domdauer Forst.
And people still send letters to the tree to this day. But can you truly find a life partner for the price of postage? No one knows better than Karl Heinz.
Mein Name ist Karl-Heinz Martens, ich wohne in Eutin. Mindestens 30 Jahre Briefträger der Bräutigamseiche in Eutin. Im Durchschnitt so 5, 6 Briefe pro Tag. Das war dann so im Durchschnitt, mal ganz grob gerechnet, mal so 1000 Briefe, die ich im Jahr dorthin gebracht habe. Sonst kamen die Briefe wirklich aus der ganzen Welt, aus Amerika, China, Japan, den nordischen Staaten, aus Südamerika. Ein anderer holt sich die Briefe raus, liest sie, wenn er da Interesse daran hat, nimmt er den Brief mit nach Hause. Insofern können da schon wirklich schöne Brieffreundschaften entstehen oder aber auch Ehen sind dadurch schon zustande gekommen. Mir ist so mancher Brief auch an die Eiche geschickt worden. Briefe habe ich sogar da.
But there was one letter that caught his eye.
Ich möchte Sie gerne kennenlernen. Sie sind mein Typ. Auch ich bin im Moment allein. Die Sendung von RTL hat mir gut gefallen. Renate Heinz. Eine Zeit später haben wir uns dann eben halt getroffen, ja. Wir sind nach wie vor verheiratet. Meine Frau, meine Wenigkeit, an dem Tag, wo wir geheiratet haben. Da steht das ganz groß, Hochzeit des Jahres. Ich finde schon, dass er was Magisches hat. Diese Ausstrahlung, diese Ruhe, die man da hat, diese Ruhe, das kann ein Internet einem so nicht wiedergeben. Also ich kriege richtig eine Gänsehaut, wenn ich das so erzähle, weil das ist einmalig, das gibt's nirgends.